notions of explaining diversity. Diversity is a very, very interesting concept because it shows ability of whatever made this diversity to be perfect in the slotting of species and slotting them into many different microclimates and many different environments, from oceans to the sky to ponds to whatever you want to consider as a microclimate. Now, this slotting mechanism requires vision. It requires the ability to say or to see or to design a creature that fits in here. The next one that goes beside it, the next one that goes beside it, the next one that goes beside it, the next one that goes beside it. And all this harmony and this diversity has an overriding purpose. And that purpose is to keep everyone that is slotted in this microclimate or in this ocean, zone of an ocean, to stay alive. So if you want to stay alive, you need to have something to eat. You need to have something to breed with. You need something to hide under. All these things need to be pre-programmed and well thought through. Now, the power of evolution is very, very, very tiny. And what I mean by that is, for a species to turn into something else according to the way they describe it, it is millions of years, very labor intensive. You can't have any hiccups, you can't have this, you can't have that. Now, that is when you're talking about creating one species. Now, to create a slotted diversity where everything fits together, everything works together, I call that a diversity protocol. And what I mean by protocol is there is a vision of the souls to make slotted species that go through a process to create a completed microsystem, microclimate. And this happens all together. Very similar to the Cambrian explosion. A sudden appearance of completed ecosystems where you have all these species, bang, they show up, ready to go, ready to interact with each other, ready to eat each other, ready to breed, ready to keep a system going, ready to populate a zone and give feedback to the souls on how to make the next microclimate. Now, this planning and this foresight and this already knowing what the end result is going to be requires fine-tuning. It requires updating. It requires constantly being in contact with this set of creations that was made. The theory of evolution doesn't have any of those mechanisms to actually come back in and fix something. There is no chance that life doesn't need repairing. There is no chance that life doesn't need fine-tuning. There is no chance that life cannot be planned into the future. If you are going to create something that is quite perfect, you need to have previous experience in creating life. You need to know what this creature is going to do. You need to know who this creature is going to interact with. You need to know how this creature or these creatures of a species is going to reproduce. All this knowledge, all this information is very tough. It is very, very deep. It is very organized. It is pre-programmed. It is pre-planned. It is set up in such a way that it makes sense. The feedback loop is the being that was created or is being created giving feedback information to the souls that live inside this being. This feedback loop has to be internal. It cannot be external. The feedback information has to go to the beings that live inside us. Never mind all the foreign entities that live inside these beings that are used as energy sources that are used as something that can digest food, whatever it may be. All these foreign beings that are helping the souls maintain and keep life and create life, they need to be controlled. So there's this overwhelming complexity that is so speechless. And when somebody tells you that it just happened and it's random and it took 1,000,000 years and it needed this and it needed that, it is not possible. It is so complex, so well organized, so well maintained, so well thought out, that it is a living being that lives inside that creature that is doing all this work. Never mind the daily maintenance of these beings. You know, feeding 1 billion pieces of information, biochemical information to the cell, each single cell in these bodies, in our body. All this activity cannot be explained by a God. Whatever is doing this is inside us, is inside everything that is alive. It allows everything to communicate with each other. And this communication is overwhelming. It is apparent. It is visible. This microevolution, which I call adaptations, they are a sign of something being inside us. So the next time you're thinking about evolution with its low energy capacity and religion with a distant God, a white-bearded God that lives in the sky, please think again. Think about something that might be inside us. You know, 57% of us is not human. So what is another 1% of souls, or 0.2% of souls, looking after these 57% of beings that don't belong to our bodies? And on top of that, looking after the human cells as well. It's an entangled mess that requires absolute precision. It requires absolute common sense. It requires on-the-spot decisions. It requires something to be moving all life forward at the same time in a slotted mechanism, in an organized mechanism where the interdependency, the interconnectivity, the communication, where everything is worked out, planned out into the future. Everyone knows their part in a group. The species know how to multiply. The species know how to mate. They know how to reproduce. The system allows them to do so. And everything goes on in such a way that life is completely planned and organized and maintained by the souls that live inside us.